Hey, it's Dr. Ron England again, and I'm going to start you with my third lecture on Python, things that you want to know, arrays. So let's start with an array, and let's first start with an empty array. Now in Python, you denote arrays with brackets. So A, in this case, is an array, and in this case, it's an empty array. So if I were to print this, I would run this and print it, I would see back an empty array. Well, that's great and all fine and dandy, but let's suppose we want an array with some stuff in it. Let's just throw in some numbers. I'm just going to throw in some random numbers. There, 1, 3, 1, 5, 9, 3, 4, some numbers there. And if I run this now, I will now see the brackets that denote that it's an array with those numbers, 1, 5, 9, 3, and 4. Say, okay, not terribly tough there. Okay, well, what's the use of this? Well, it allows me to keep track of lots of things. And let's say we can have arrays that can keep track of, so like in this case, that was an array of integers, but I can also have an array of names, Joe, okay, and Fred, and Barney. There we go. And I can output that. There we go, Joe, Fred, Barney. Strings, numbers, whatever. Well, this is kind of useful because a lot of times in the mathematical world, we actually use lots of numbers and we want to keep them in some nice organized fashion. An array is a nice organized way to keep the numbers. All right, well, that's all fine and dandy too, but let's suppose we want to actually access only, okay, we want to only access the first element of array A. We want to use that element. Well, here's one thing that is really important. They're accessed by integer. So if I look at A of 0, that's the value 1, which is the first element in the array. So they start with they start at 0. So if you notice that array's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements in it. If I ask it for the element of 5, okay, you'd think, oh, that's going to return a 4. No, it's going to return an error because there is no element 5. The fifth element is actually in array index 4. Okay, and if I do that, I'm actually going to see that number 4 of A of 4. Okay, that is important. Now, what's also important is that arrays, you can pass arrays to functions. I can define functions, and the function can receive an array. We'll call it AX, array X, and we'll go ahead and print, oops, AX. And that's all we're going to do. And we'll define function. Let's call it my function. My function, might get a nice, better name for it, because usually it's not a good idea to call function. Okay, that'll actually won't do anything because we're not calling it. So we need to call it my function with something. So we'll call it with A. Okay, in that case, it's going to print out A. And if I call it with B, it's going to print out B. Or it could also do this, my function A, and well, let's do this. Let's do this. Print AX sort. Sort. Okay, which is an actually going to should print out. Now let's call it with A. Okay. Oops. Oh. Got that backwards. Sort function is. I might have to look that one up. I'm trying to remember what's the sort function. Does it? Oh wait, no, it doesn't like this. Sort is not defined. No. So AX. Oh wait, I want to try this one. I haven't seen this. AX reverse. okay, which actually prints out a none. Well, let's find out why it, okay, so this is a good thing. The reverse function of the AX is actually printing out right there, and we're calling it with the A, so we're actually calling it with an actual thing there. So, and it should do this. So if I were to, because if I print AX, okay, just AX, notice that it prints out the function. Well, let's go over to here, and let's go to Google. Now, this is where you can, well, Google Maps, I don't want Google Maps, I want Google. So I want to show you how to find stuff. Okay, Python array sort. There's the sort in Python. Okay, Python sort is as follows. There we go. What's the Python sort function? And so if you take an unsorted list and you sort it, it's going to actually then print out, then it's going to take this unsorted list and it's going to actually make it sorted. So let's go back over to here. Now, so why did this not work? Okay, why does it print out none? Well, the reason is the sort function of the array sorts it, but the sort function does not return the sorted array. This is crucial. So how do I do this then? Well, I can go ax.sort. Okay, then I'm just going to print out ax. So it should be sorted now. And voila. Now it prints it out sorted. Okay, now here's something that's actually interesting that we might want to know. What happened to the original? Okay, so we passed it A. A was passed in as AX. AX got sorted and printed. What happens to the original variable that was sent over? Well, we can figure that out by printing it. Notice, okay, so now I passed it A sorted it, printed it, and returned it. Okay? Or what I could do here is, if I could even go one step further, I could actually have it return AX. Okay, and in that case, it would return AX, which would be the sorted version of the function. But it did make the modifications when I called the sort to this. Well, what other functions have I got here? Well, we saw that there was a reverse. So let's actually look at that one too. Let's just run that one. You can see that it actually just took the 15934 and put it 43951. It reversed it. So the array has properties that'll have built-in functions that you can use, and you can actually see those functions. Okay, so in this case, like reverse or sort, what those functions do. The other thing that I can do is, let's do this. Let's go one step further. Let's put in B, and let's go AX append B. Okay, tab. I don't need, and I'll actually keep this, I'll do the sort here. And then we can now pass the A and another number. Let's say a 15. And now it'll actually append the B to the other one and then sort it and pop it out. All right. It's a little bit of playing around with that, with what their capabilities are here. But I think I got the point through of what an array, some of the things that an array can do. Now, we're going to use the array in a lot of engineering problems. In fact, pretty much every homework from here on out is probably going to use an array. It's just a very, very handy construct to have. And that's really what I wanted to show you about the array. The next video is actually going to be on iterating, be loop, because we want to be able to loop through arrays, and I want to show you how to do that. For right now, don't need that. You'll need it later.